In this video, I will show you our legacy magazine, and I will present you our V2 magazine for both Cobra SIEGE and Cobra Adder. And finally, I will also tell you how to install this V2 magazine on Cobra RX or Cobra R9 if you have this modification of the EK Archery crossbow. So first, tell me how this journey started. A few years ago, there was a big demand for the Cobra SIEGE and Cobra RX Adder platform for the long bolt magazine. And along with other guys, we offered our version, which was very, very popular in Germany, in the USA, in the United Kingdom, and in other countries as well. And it was very great. However, it had some limitation, and that's why we came up with V2 version. Let's take a look how it was built. First of all, this rear part, it was very simple those days, so it had quite a short top Picatinny rail, and the top locker, which pushes bolts down, was not kind of possible to bend it aside, and therefore you could not use those quick loaders. And also for the frontal part, it was fixated there permanently. We offered actually two versions, so like you can see here, there was a SIEGE version with bottom Picatinny rail, and then it also was kind of fixated on the SIEGE more or less permanently. Therefore, we designed version 2, where we addressed those imperfections. And now we have this latest magazine, which is V2, and as you can see, it can be installed on the Cobra SIEGE and Cobra RX Adder. As well, it can be also installed on Cobra R9 and Cobra RX, but I will tell you about this at the end of the video. So now let's review this magazine in details. Let's take a look on this rear part, and as you can see, it's much more sophisticated now. First of all, we got here 3 Picatinny rails and one pretty long top Picatinny rail, 2 side Picatinny rails, which if you, by the way, if you don't like those Picatinny rails, you can easily move it out, so you can just have the lighter magazine, but we ship it together with side Picatinnies. And then this top locker, which is made now from very redundant plastic. It's impossible to break it. With legacy magazines, some guys managed to break it because it was from PCTG material. Now it's from nylon carbon fiber, so it's impossible to break it. And as you can see, it's bendable aside. So there is a magnet that holds it together, and when you put it aside, so you get access from the top for loading the bolts. And what's good in this magazine is that it holds long bolts together with frontal fixator, but if you want to feed inside their short bolts, they also fit there. As I mentioned, if you want to have short bolts here, so it looks like this. And as you can see, this magazine holds those very nice without need of a frontal fixator, and those frontal fixators can be removed. And that's how it looks without those. So you can just leave those Picatinny rails if you like, but remove the top parts. And then this is a short bolt setup. Now let's take a look on the frontal part. So frontal part, first of all, as I already showed, this top part is removable for both Adder and for SIEGE. And if you want to get top access for the long bolts, you just move it aside. And we have some kind of a color marking here, as you can see. So if it's ready to fire, you're going to see this green marking. And if it's kind of in the loading state, you're going to see this red marking. So it kind of indicates you before you get used to the magazine if it's ready to go or not. For SIEGE, it's a very similar idea. As you can see here, there is only bottom Picatinny rails, and there is top part which is removable. But the good thing is that you actually can keep the bottom Picatinny rails. So, for example, if you have any tactical device on this, you can leave those even after you remove the top part. And the bolt fixation works pretty similar, and the color coding is also there, as you can see. I have promised you to tell how to install this V2 magazine on the Cobra RX or R9. So for Cobra RX Adder or for Cobra SIEGE, you actually don't need any modification, right? So you can just put it out of the box. But for Cobra RX or R9, you have two options. And if you want to know more details, you can just search for the links below this video, where I describe you the conversion method and the upgrade method. The upgrade method is something that I would personally suggest you to go this way, because it's official way. It's a EK Archery upgrade set where you just replace this handle and replace this mechanism, and you get it up to the adder level, so to say. But if you want cheaper alternative, you can buy from us a converter. And converter assumes that you're going to do some kind of a manual work, and this is actually former RX model, which actually have been upgraded by cutting some part here and cutting this metallic part, and all this covered in the instruction below. So if you want to go this way, it's not the preferred way, it's cheap way, and it's doable. Thank you for watching. In next videos, I will tell you about our modular bolt holding bolt loading system, which is actually working very good with our V2 magazine. And also I will tell you about some add-ons for Cobra crossbow line, like handles, wall mounts, and other things which makes life much easier and that we can offer to you. Thank you.